So today I'm going to be doing faux locks and basically giving you tips and tricks on what I do for faux locks, what I use, and everything will be in the description box. So if you're interested in learning more tips and becoming a braider or just learning how to do certain things when doing faux locks, just keep on watching. So right here, I'm just fluffing out the hair ahead of time. This is going to be tip number one. Basically, to become a faster braider, preparing the hair before your client gets there is the best thing to do. So I'm just basically opening up that hair and just putting it in a box so that whenever I'm ready to go ahead and grab it and go ahead and wrap, it's already ready. So my client here wanted triangle parts. So tip number two is basically going to be to get those crisp, nice and neat parts. You want to make sure that you're adding gel. You can do like a rough draft of wherever you think you're going to part and then go ahead and follow up with some gel and then re-clean that part up with the gel and a comb. Sometimes I use the middle piece, the rat tail piece of the comb, but most of the time I just use, the front of the comb. So it just depends on what you're more comfortable with. Okay, so tip number three, when doing these locks, the most sensitive part is going to be basically the nape, which is the back of the neck, and the perimeter. So you want to make sure that you're doing these faux locks gently at the nape and at the perimeters. Not so gently that it's going to be loose, but you want to make sure that it's tight, not on her root, but making sure that you're wrapping tightly at the beginning. It's hard to explain. I hope you can see here that I'm just wrapping tightly on that braid that I made and not wrapping tightly onto her scalp, like just creating tension. So yeah, that's going to be tip number three. So tip number four is going to be like basically two tips in one. If you're looking to get that butterfly look, all you need to do is put your thumb in the way of wrapping like a small piece of that hair. Make sure you wrap above it twice or three times and then continue to wrap below it after you've already created that butterfly piece. Also, if you want a messier look, you can go ahead and just loosen your grip on wrapping and it'll just create like a messy kind of butterfly look for you. Tip number five is basically going to be if your faux lock is too long. Basically, the foundation, that Marley hair that's underneath, if it is too long, you can literally fold it up like I did. Go ahead and grab some more spring twist hair and wrap around and continue to wrap all the way down. I know most people probably just cut it off, but if you definitely want to get how the Marley hair tapers at the end, if you don't want that tapered look, you can go ahead and just fold it upward so that it just is the same density throughout the entire thing. Tip number, I think this is 6. If you want to not use nail glue when you get done with your faux lock, you can go ahead and create a knot, wrap upwards, and make sure you wrap that small piece tightly so that it will not unravel. So this will prevent you from using any nail glue or anything else. The lock won't move and it'll stay intact. Tip number 7, the spring twist hair that I am about to use to wrap around her braid basically is I think the inches I got this one in is 10 inch. If you're doing longer faux locks, you can always get it longer than like the 8. I think that's the standard inches. You can get it in 10 inches. I think they also sell it in 12 and maybe even longer. So this will just prevent you from wasting time with the short pieces and going ahead and just getting a long piece of spring twist hair, so that you're using maybe like 2 pieces of spring twist hair on one lock instead of like 4 or 5. So this will just help with timing and just making sure that you can, you know, get that style done with the right amount of equipment and supplies. Tip number 9 is going to be so that your faux locks do not unravel in between. If you're going on to using a different piece, you can go ahead and just basically create a knot in between, so that when you start on your next piece, that it will not unravel. That is a trick that I learned from another YouTuber. And this is just to help prevent, you know, the hair from sliding or unraveling. So that would be all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the tips and tricks I shared with you. Please let me know if you do have any questions or have anything you want to ask or anything that you want to see next from me. Just let me know down below, and I'll see you guys in my next video.